Hello everyone, this is Rajendra, and in this particular video we are going to talk about some important Git commands. Okay, so first important command that we should use frequently is git help. Okay, so what this command is doing, it will give us all the information about all the commands and then how we can use those. Okay, so if you see the image at the right bottom side, so usually your project looks like this, right? You have one main branch, okay, and out of that main branch, every developer who is working on some feature, he can just create own branch out of it, and then it will start working on it, right? So this way we can have a multiple branches. So this green dot is nothing but a people working on that branch, okay, at different stages. So this is something like a tree, right? So this is how we can maintain a multiple clone or multiple copies of your project. Okay, so now let me show you the help command. Okay, so in this particular video we are going to talk about concepts as well as the practical, where how we can see and how we can use those commands. Okay, so first let's see the git help command. Okay, so in the last video we have created one project, and then we push that project, this my test project, on the GitHub. Okay, so now let's use git help. Now when you do git help, it will show some commands. Okay, so all these commands we are going to see one by one. So first command you see here is a start a working area. Okay, so to start a working area we have two commands. One is a clone, another is a init. Okay, so what is the use of clone? So here we are just talking about the help. Okay, and exactly how to use this clone we are going to see with example. So let me just read out the explanation of it. Okay, so clone is nothing but, let's say someone a repository is already there, and then you just want to create a copy or a clone of it. Okay, so for that you can use this clone command. Okay, now there is one more command called init. So what it will do, create an empty git repository or reinitialize the existing one, right? So if you want to initialize your project as a git repository, in that case you can use the init command. Okay, now the next section is work on the current change. Okay, so this, if you want to work on the project and you need some changes in that case we can use this section. Okay, so what all commands here, we have a git add command. So what is the use of this git add command? Let's say you want the project is already there and you want to add some files in that. Okay, so in that case you can use git add and that file name. Okay, so that file name will be added into that. Okay, or let's say you also modified some section of the file, then as well you can do git add and that file name. So next command is a move command, that is mv. Okay, so if you want to move one file from one directory to another directory in your project, in that case you can use the move command. Now next is reset the current head to a specialized state. Okay, so let's say you are doing something and you want to reset it, in that case it will help us to reset. Okay, now let's say you want to remove some files on your project, in that case you can use the remove rm command. So it will just remove that file from the project. Now the next section of commands is examine the history and stat. Okay, so if you want to see the log, if you want to show the objects, if you want to see the status of this. Okay, so for this, all this help, you can use this section. Okay, now there are some more commands like grow, mark and tweak your common history. Okay, so what all things we can do is we can create a branch, check out the code, commit the code. If you want to see the difference between multiple versions of the code, in that case you can use the diff command. If you want to merge to different repositories, in that case you can use the merge. Rebase is for forward port local commits to a updated head. Okay, let's say there are two branches, one is a head main branch and another is a working branch. So if you want to move your working branch to the main branch, in that case you can use the rebase. Okay, so now to use any of this command, if you want any more help on that, what you can do, let's say I want to see the help of diff command. So what I'll do, git diff help. Okay, now in this case, okay, what you have to do, git help diff. Now if you want to go and see the very specific to any specific command, very specific information to any command, in that case you can use the git help and then that command name. Okay, so now if I want to see the diff command, how to use that, so in that case what I can do, git help and then command name. Okay, so see the name here, if you see the description name, show changes between commit and working tree. Okay, so what all changes we can see is the, if you want to make a diff of two different commits, then you can do with this commit command, git diff command, as well as if you want to see the difference between the current commit and the previous commit, in that case as well you can use the git diff command. Okay, so what is this description saying is, show changes between the working tree and index or a tree, changes between the index and a tree, changes between two trees, changes between two blob object. Okay, so here tree is nothing but your different branches. Okay, so here you have more information about what all options you can use. Okay, then commit and then path. Okay, so you can just go through all this information and you'll get a better information more on top of that. Okay, here if you see some options are there, minimal, patience, histogram. Okay, so it has some meanings you can use. Okay, all these options as and when required. Okay, so this is how you should use the git help, right? With the help of git help command, you'll get lot of information, right? So now this is what we talked about the git help. Okay, now let's talk about repository. Okay, so we already talked about repository is nothing but we already created one repository, and now from that repository we can create a multiple branches. Okay, and then if there are multiple teams which are working on that branch, in that case you can use it. Okay, now if you see the description of git repository, what it is saying, the purpose of the git is to manage a project or a set of files as they change over time. Git stores this information in a data structure called a repository. Okay, so this is what the definition of the repository. Okay, now what is commit? Commit is nothing but whatever the changes, okay, whatever the changes that we are doing, if you want to permanently reflect those changes, in that case we can use the commit to commit that. Okay, we can also provide the commit message. Okay, so this commit message will help us to understand what all changes that we have done in this particular commit. Now for every commit, okay, for every commit there is a 140 character string that is get generated, unique string that is generated. So from that we can uniquely identify the commit. Okay, now if you want to see that how this looks like, so if you see, here is a screenshot of it, commit, and here is a 40 character hash. Okay, so this is nothing but a commit ID. Okay, and then what is commit message? Commit message is the message that we give for every commit. So from that we'll understand what this is, but means for what purpose we have done the changes and committed it. Okay, now what is GitHub? Okay, so GitHub is the location, okay, where we can put our projects, okay, so that any team or anyone who wants to use that, they can just access that project from the GitHub. Okay, now how this GitHub looks like. Okay, So on the GitHub website we have to create account, and there we can create a Git repositories. Okay, so this is how it looks like on the internet. Now how commits are created, okay, or how the typical workflow that we get. Okay, so what happens in the project, what we do is we introduce some changes. Okay, whatever the changes that we have done, then we, with the help of git add command, we add those changes. Now when we do git add, in that case the changes are not directly pushed to the remote repository. The changes are will only be added into the staging area. Okay, staging area is nothing but our local repository. Okay, now once that is added, what we can do, we can use the git commit. Okay, so this git commit, and then we have to give the message. With that message, it will help us to understand what all the changes that we have done in this particular commit. Okay, and then after git commit, the changes becomes permanent, right? Now again, we already discussed these 3 steps: introduce the chain, add the actual change to the staging area, and then commit. Okay, now once commit is done, okay, that code is available in your on your GitHub project. Okay, so now to perform all this activity, okay, there are some important commands we need to know. So now we'll discuss all those commands. Okay, there are total seven commands, important 7 commands are there that we are going to see one by one. Okay, so here are the commands. Okay, git init to init the project, git clone is to clone the project, git logs to see the history of the project, git diff to see the difference between 2 commit, git status is to see is there any change in your current project, git add to add any new changes, and git commit to commit to the permanent changes. Okay, so now one by one we'll see all this command in a practical way. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so the first command that we talked about is git init. Okay, so what is the use of git init? So let's see the help. Git help init. So what it is saying, create an empty git repository or reinitialize an existing one. Okay, so if you want to see, let's try that. Okay, so now let me create a one more project. Okay, so what I'll do, make dir, I'll create one more project. Okay, my project. Now this is created, and then what I have to do, I have to do git init my project. Okay, now once that is done, if I run this, what it is saying, initialize empty git repository in home Rajendra in this particular location. Okay, so now this project, this particular project becomes a related to the your git related project. Okay, so let me go inside it, git my project, and if I do git status, okay, so what it is saying, on branch master initial commit, nothing to commit. Okay, so this is about the how we can use the git init command. Okay, to initialize your project. Okay, we use the git init command. Okay, so now let's talk about the next project, that is git clone. Okay, so what is the use of git clone project? Okay, so let me go back for first, let me show you my repository on the GitHub. So this is my repository on the GitHub. Okay, let me go to the all the projects inside my repository. Okay, now I want to copy this particular project. Okay, so now to copy this project, we have here we have multiple options. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll clone this project. How we can clone? Here we have a git repo link. Okay, we have to just copy that link, go back to your location where you want to clone that project, and then use git clone command, git clone, and then add this add the git repo link. Okay, now if I do, now it is cloning that project, complete project on your local machine. Okay, now cloning is done. Let me go inside this. Okay, so now I am inside this project. Okay, so this is how you can copy or clone the project from any repository with the help of git clone command. Okay, now let's talk about the next command. Okay, let me present it. Now the next command that we have is a git log. Okay, so what is the use of this git log command is, now if you want to see the history of your project, okay, who all developed this project, what all commits are there, in which commit what all changes are there. Okay, so to see that we have a git log command. Okay, so before git log, let's apply git log help. Okay, so what it is saying, sorry, git help log. Okay, so here what it is saying, show commit logs, means what are the commits happened on this particular project, so it will show the logs of it. Okay, shows the commit log. The command takes optional options applicable to the git reverse list command to control what is shown and how, and options applicable to the git diff commands to control how the changes each commit introduced are shown. Okay, now for this particular project, let's apply git log. Okay, so git log applied. So now what this project is saying is, okay, here the recent commit that I have. So here if you see the commit, this is the commit ID. It's a 40 character ID that we have discussed some time back. And then this particular project, means this particular commit happened on March 29. Okay, what is the exact time is also there, who has committed that is also there. And then what all changes are there, added modules content. Okay, so this is the commit, added modules commit. Okay, so now before that again one more commit happened, which is again on March 29. This is again happened by Mike Brothers, added modules content. Okay, now let's go back and see one more commit. This is commit ID. This is the author details. Okay, author details is JM Portila @ data. Okay, and then when that has been done, Saturday March 24. This is the exact time, year, and then what is the permission of that. Okay, now what it is doing, merge pull request from Sprinter patch 1, and what they have added is this particular file they have added. Okay, so this way you can just go back, continuously keep going, and you can see what all changes happened in each and every commit. Okay, so this is how we can use the git log command. Okay, now let's see the next command. Now it's a git diff command. Okay, so now first see what is the use of git diff command. Okay, so now first apply git help and diff command. Okay, so now how to use this, we'll get this information out with the help of git help. So what it is showing, shows changes between commits. Okay, now let's say how to see the commits. We know that with the help of git log, right? Now here we have a multiple git. Let's say I want to see the difference between these two commits. Okay, so let me do that. How I can do that, git diff the first commit, this commit I'll give, and then we have to provide the commit IDs. Okay, this is another one. Now if I run this, so now it is showing the difference, what it is showing. So here if you see, it is showing the files in A and B. Okay, so A is nothing but the file we have given first, like git diff first file name or the first commit and then second commit. Okay, so the files from the first commits are named as A, and then files from the second commit are named as a B. Okay, now if you see this plus means these are the changes got added into the file B. Okay, so these are the changes added into the file B. Okay, so now if I go down, so there are a lot of changes happened. Okay, and then if you see this minus is nothing but these are the changes removed from the file A file means the left hand side commit. Okay, so these are the changes has been removed and removed from the latest commit. Okay, and then if you see, this line got removed and this line got added. Okay, so they have changed comment from up next files to the up next sets and booleans. Okay, so you can see the difference this way. Okay, so let me show you one more difference. Git first gets the commit ID with the help of git log command, and now I'll see the difference between these two files. Okay, so what I'll do, git diff, this is the old commit that I'm giving and this is the latest commit that I'm giving. Okay, now if I run this, there is a no change. Okay, but okay, let me show you one more commit then. So I'll see these two commits. Okay, Friday March 16, Friday March 16. Okay, this is committed at 1336, this is committed at 1340. Okay, so let me give this one, git diff, this commit ID, then this, get this one. Okay, so now again if you see, all these changes are removed in the latest commits from the old one. Okay, and let's see, is there any new changes got added in the end. So let me go to the shift G. Okay, so I see only the removal happened. Okay, only some files are removed. Okay, so that all this information now you can see with the help of git diff command. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, now let's see the next. Now the next command that we have a git status. Okay, so what is the use of git status? Okay, so now if I do get status, what it is saying on branch master, your branch is up to date, nothing to commit, working directory clean. Okay, so instead of this, let me go to the another directory, that is my test. Now let me apply git status on branch master, nothing to commit, working directory is clean. Okay, now let's say I go to the first.py and then let me add something in this file. Okay, so let me do some changes. Let me add the doc string here. Okay, so what this is, I'm just adding doc string here. This is a add function to add two numbers. Okay, so this is what I'm just adding. Okay, now let me, now if I do git status, okay, so now you can see that it is showing modified first.py. Okay, so what it is saying, this particular file got added or the modified. Okay, so to see, is there any changes happened in your repository, your local repository and your master repository or the remote repository. Okay, remote repository will be uniform, right? There nobody is going to change that. Okay, so what people is going to do is they will clone that the repository to your local machine. Okay, then going to do some changes, and once changes is done, they are going to push that changes onto the remote repository. But what it is saying here, this file is modified. So how it is comparing? It is comparing this file with the remote repository file where we have pushed our code. Okay, so now this is the change happened. Okay, so what changes happened? We know that if you want to see the changes between local repository and remote repository, we have a git diff command. Okay, so let's see with that, git diff first.py. Okay, so now if I do here, I'm not giving two parameter. Okay, but the second parameter it will take is the remote repository file. Okay, so this is our local repository file, and the second parameter, if we don't provide, that will be taken from the remote repository. Okay, so let me run this. So now what it is saying, there are some changes. Okay, so this, what changes happened is, this plus is nothing but these two lines got added. Okay, so you can see that whatever the docstring that we have added, that it is showing as a difference between two commits. Okay, so now this is how we can use the git status command to see if there is any change happened in your local repository as compared to the remote repository. Okay, so now let's see the next command. Next command we have is a git add command. Okay, so now we have the changes. Okay, and we want to push these changes to the remote repository. Okay, so how you can do that? So for that we have a git add command. Okay, git add first dot. Okay, now if I do git add first dot py, now this command is not going to do directly to it, is not going to push that command onto the remote repository. Okay, what it will do, it will just from local repository, there is one more concept called staging area. Okay, so what is this staging area? Staging area is nothing but the location between your local repository and the remote repository. Okay, so now this first.py was changed in your local repository, and now you want to add this change onto the remote repository. Okay, so when you do git add first.py or the file name, in this case those changes move from local repository to the staging area. Okay, and then when you do the commit, git commit, then only the data that we have added in the staging area will be pushed to the remote repository. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. Okay, so now we have added, and now if I do git status, so it is showing in the green. Why it is showing in the green and earlier it is in the red? Because earlier those changes were in the local repository. Okay, but now these changes are in the staging area. Okay, so that's why the color change is there. Okay, now change is added, I can use the git commit command. Okay, so the next command that we have is a git commit command. Okay, so how I can use is git commit. Now we know that we have to use -em and then message. Okay, so what all how that message should be is exactly from the commit message itself we should understand what happened in this particular change. Okay, so let me add the change. Added the docstring in the addition function. Okay, now this is our message for the commit. Okay, so now if we do what it is saying, this message it is showing, also it is saying one file change, 2 insertion. Okay, now commit is done. Okay, so when you do commit git, let me show you the status first. So now here in the git status nothing is there. Okay, so now you modified it, you added it, you committed it, but still after commit as well the data is still on your staging repository. Okay, and it's not pushed yet to the remote repository. Even though if someone goes and pull that code, still these changes will be not there because we didn't push this code changes onto the remote repository. Okay, so how we can do that? So for that we have a git push command. Okay, so if I do git push now, okay, so before pushing it, it is again asking us to provide the configuration. Okay, so already yesterday we discussed about the config. Okay, so how we can do git config -- global. So it's for global configuration. So what it is, the current branch master has no upstream branch to push the to the upstream branch. It is saying use this command. Okay, so let me just use this command as is. Now if I run this, it will ask for the details. Let me add the details. Credential, in fact it is asking, so let me put the credentials, username, let me put the password. Okay, that's it. Now changes got pushed into the remote repository as well. Okay, so now to just verify whether it is really pushed or not, let's go to the repository. Let me open the repository. So this is our repository my test, and now these are the changes. Let me go to this file where we have added changes. So here if you see the timing, 2 minutes ago changes happened. Okay, and for the readme it is showing 15 hours ago, because in the last video we modified this. Okay, but this first.py modified just now. Okay, so now if I go back and see inside this file, you can see that the changes that we added, that is the doc string, got added in this particular file, right? So this is how we can add those changes or modify it and push into the remote repository. Okay, so now let me show you one more thing. Now we have seen that how to add. Okay, so let's say how to remove it. Okay, so now we have two different files here. So what I'll do, I'll remove this readme file from here. Okay, so for that what we have to do, so let me show you the first status. Git status is there. So what it is showing now, nothing to commit, working directory is clean. Okay, so now let me do git, I want to remove this readme file. Okay, so to remove, we know that there is a git rm command, remove command. So git rm and this readme. Okay, so now it has removed. Now if I do git status, you can see that it is showing deleted readme. Okay, but if you go back and see on the remote repository, this file is still there. Okay, because we didn't push the changes to the remote repository yet. Okay, so now we did this, and then now let's say first we have to commit these changes. Okay, so how we can commit, we know that git commit -m and then add some message. Okay, deleted the readme file. Okay, so now this is commit message. Okay, so now it is showing changes happened. Now let's push. So now when we refresh this, now you can see that there is a no readme. Okay, but from the repository itself, what it is saying, help people interested in this repository understand your project by adding a readme. So what they are saying is there should be a readme, so that if someone see your project, okay, so from the readme itself they can understand what this project is doing. Okay, so that's why they are saying we should have a readme. Okay, so now let me quickly add that. Okay, so first let me add this. So what I'll do, I'll again add readme here. This is my first learning Git project. Okay, this is added, and after this let me add some this project contains add function. Okay, so now that's it. These 2 lines I have added as a readme. Okay, now if I do git status, what it is saying, this file is extra file. Okay, so how we can do that, we know add command is there. So git add and readme. Okay, so now file got added. If you want to see, the color should be green now. With the help of git status we can see color is green. That means now this file is from the local repository to the staging area. Okay, so now added into the staging area with the help of add command. So now we need to again add the commit. Okay, so let's do that. Git commit -m and then give some proper message. Added the readme for this project. Okay, so now this, with the help of this commit itself, we can understand what was happened in this particular commit. Okay, so now commit is happened, we need to push it. Okay, so to push that, we have a git push set upstream origin master. Okay, so that means we are pushing this into the master branch. Okay, so now if I run this, it will again ask for credentials for our repository. So let me add this Rajendra. So I'm adding my credentials first. So now it will push these changes onto the remote repository. Okay, so now the changes is done. So let me go back and see it in the remote repository on the GitHub. So now you can see that readme got added just 43 seconds ago. Okay, this is my first learning Git project. Okay, so now let's go back and see more information on this. Okay, so now we know that git log command is there. Okay, so with the help of git log, we can see what all happened. Okay, the recent commit that we have done is added the readme for this project. Okay, then delete the old one is a deleted the readme. Before that, added the docstring in the addition function, and then first version of my repo. Okay, so there are 4 commits happened in this particular project. Okay, so now if you want to see the difference between these 2 commit, let's do that. Git diff, let me just use the old commit first, old commit ID, and then the new commit ID. Okay, now you can see what is the difference. The difference is that there was no readme inside this particular commit. Okay, and then there was a readme in the latest commit. Okay, so what is the data inside it? It is showing with the plus plus. Okay, so this particular 2 lines we have added in the readme, and that is the difference between these 2 commit. Okay, so now if you see difference between these 2 commit, there should be a docstring difference. So let me show you that. Git diff, this is my old commit, and then this is my recent one. Okay, so now if I run this, you can see that what all the changes happened is the docstring. Okay, so the 2 lines got added, and here the change is the docstring. Okay, so this is how we can use this all these 7 important commands. Okay, mostly this 7 important commands gets used in every project. Okay, now there is one more important command, is a checkout command. Okay, so what is the use of that? Let's first see the help of it. Okay, git help checkout. Okay, so now this checkout command, what it is doing? Switch branches or restore working tree files. Okay, so that means if you want to switch from one branch to another branch, in that case we can use the git checkout command. Or if you want to restore your current tree means current branch of files, in that case as well you can use the checkout command. Okay, so how to switch the branches and all we are going to see in the next video, where we are going to play with the multiple branches. Okay, but how to restore the working tree, for that let's see this. So now if I do git status, there is a no change. Okay, so now let me go to the readme and let me add some changes here. Okay, this is new line. Okay, so now I did some changes. Okay, now if I do git status, you can see that there is some modification inside this readme. Okay, but now if you want to restore this file, okay, with the original changes that we have on the remote repository, so in that case we can use the git checkout readme. Okay, now if I do this, and now if I do git status, so here you can see that now it is showing nothing to commit, working directory clean. So that means what happened, whatever the changes that we done inside this readme, that was restored. Okay, restored means these changes are not restored, but the file, the original file that we had, that got restored into the original condition. Original condition means whatever we have pulled from the remote repository. So the changes that we have done got vanished. Okay. So for all these purposes, we can use the git checkout to restore your current tree. Okay. How to play with branches with the help of git checkout. Okay. That we'll see in the next video. Okay. Okay, so that's it in this particular video. In the next video, we are going to play with multiple branches, how we can do that and all. Okay, so till then, thanks, bye bye.